This time, on The Adventures of Tarka. Nusha gets to take care of Tarka in my absence, does some sailing with some old friends, and makes plenty of new ones. Later, I return to Tarka, and together we both make preparations for what will be our longest passage together. With the passing of my father, I had left Tarka to be home with my family. Though an important moment in my life, it is not the story of Tarka. Thus, the adventure was now in Nushta's hands.
With Brian back home with his family, I kept myself busy in the marina. On the heart we made Tarka beautiful on the outside, but she was a bit of a mess on the inside. All of the walking in and out the boat brought in some paint dust, and the lack of airflow created some mildew spots on the walls. One good thing about being alone in the boat is that I had a lot of space to empty out every compartment and clean it from the inside out. This was the perfect thing to do on those rainy days. On sunny days, I cleaned the cushions and I did our laundry. Tarka isn't always very classy. I wasn't completely alone in the marina. I had those two cute marina dogs to keep me company. Our friend Rick needed to haul his boat out here in the marina, and I joined him for the short trip from Spanish water. Our other friends, Steve, Denise and Alcino, also came along for the trip. After sitting so long on the heart, on the dock with Tarka, it felt good to be on a moving sailboat again. Sophisticated lady was tied up next to Tarka, a good reminder of how small she is. But soon enough I was invited back out on yet another boat. On this trip I also met Wim, and yes, he also invited me out on his own boat with a few of his friends. He even let me drive, which maybe wasn't a good idea. It was time to give Tarka some more of my attention. When Tarka yells over while sailing, anything insecure tends to go flying. To prevent this, I made some nets along the wall above our saloon bunks. I also made some mosquito nets, one for our heads and one for our companionway as well. I even made a bag to protect my kiteboard from the sun, from some material I found in the trash. The city is only a short walk from the marina, which is really nice for buying fruit and veggies. I even found a nice snorkeling spot just off the town dock. While snorkeling here, I met some people. And together we did some more exploring. One place we went was one of my favorite spots on the whole island, Playa Grande, where there are a lot of turtles. But not all was well in paradise. Coming back to Tarka, I noticed there was an issue with our power. After some texting with Brian, and with the help of another sailor, I figured out that one of the batteries had gone bad. Luckily for me, and not so lucky for Brian, he would be back in a few days to fix the problem. Life without the power on the boat isn't very much fun, but luckily Rick invited me to join him for a parade of the boats in front of the city as part of a rally he has joined.
After a month back home, it was time for me to return to Tarka. You must have cleaned the boat.
No.
Where did this come from?
Light.
Oh, because you don't have light. Yeah. Though my reasons for being home were not ideal, it did provide an opportunity to bring back some goodies from the States, including another 100 watts of solar panels. You got your solar panels. So these are two 50-watt flexible panels, semi-flexible. Tarka had now spent a bit too much time in Curacao, and because she was tied to a dock for a month, we had spent more money than we had planned. It was time to get moving. But before departing for Colombia, there was a lot to be done. The first item was to find new batteries to replace the ones that we were forced to recycle. Tarka uses two 6-volt golf cart batteries for the house bank, giving us an ample 230 amp hours of power. However, we were having a bit of trouble finding these for a good price. In the meantime, we hooked up a battery donated to us by a friend. They come straight out of the factory like this. You gotta have a little bit of corrosion on their nuts. They have some writing on them. You gotta have the word good written on there so you know it's good.
It's good. Working?
Well, we'll let them charge all day and then see what it looks like at the end of the day. Eventually, though, we did find a good deal on batteries at the local Napa. Our friend Dave, from Moto Edie, was kind enough to give us a lift in his rental car, which was a lifesaver as each of these batteries is 60 pounds and it's a 2-mile walk back to the marina. We now had 2 brand new batteries, and all we had left to do is install them, which, after a bit of cramped work, we managed to do without issue. Where are my nuts? Found my nuts. We also needed to stock up on canned goods, as we've heard stories that we can't come by very many in Colombia, and we'll want them to extend how long we can stay in Sandblast later. First, though, we had to take inventory of what we already had.
Yeah, we're counting the canned foods.
2 cans of butter. I had no idea you could buy cans of butter, and then I found these in Grenada, I think. What else do we got? A little spinach. We got too much spinach. Canned spinach is disgusting. Pizza sauce. Seeing pizza sauce on that list made me realize we have actually never made a pizza on Tarka. Obviously we don't have an oven, but it should still be possible in a pan. I don't know how it's gonna turn out.
I don't know if this looks tasty, but it's a good try.
It looks like a pizza, at least.
I'm happy I can't eat this pizza.
Look at this beautiful pizza. Canned tomato paste. Inspired tomato paste. Fresh pepperoni though. And fresh mozzarella. It's pretty good. Let's see, let's put that pepperoni back. That's really good. I think I'm the best pizza maker ever. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You should make a
This is
food
my
blog
fucking
instead
boat.
of a
I should.
sailing channel.
Forget about sailing. With inventory done, and knowing that we will be making more pizzas in the future, we set off to the supermarket to stock up on supplies.
I think this will be fine. Maybe 10 of this.
Importantly, this is the only supermarket I've seen in all of the Caribbean that has donuts. I'm gonna eat these all.
In one day.
Tomorrow. This will be the day after. This will be the third day. These will last. But I think we should have bought more. With all the shopping we did, life was made a lot easier by a rental car from yet another generous friend.
That's all?
That's it.
Good. Done.
With all our goodies back on the boat, the work of storing everything began. We try our best to keep paper and cardboard items off the boat, so we removed all the labels from the cans and relabeled everything with a Sharpie. We got some corned beef, some bean sprouts, my favorite, some pickled cabbage. When the fancy, we get asparagus, green beans, sliced carrots, and everyone's favorite, a lot of sweet corn. So this is the difference between a brand new can one that's been sitting on the boat for almost a year. On passages, we always wear our PFDs, but we've actually never tested them. We haven't been able to find replacement CO2 cartridges here, so we just inflated them manually. Come back! There you go, I got you your present. And then stored them overnight to check for any leaks. That's pretty cool. Speaking of leaks though, we got a rude surprise in the morning. Our bilge was full of water, and at this time the automatic bilge pump was turned off. The first thing to do when you notice a bilge full of water is taste it, and luckily it was fresh water. But when you don't have a water maker, that's still bad news. So I'm going to go over here and take this opportunity to put it on auto, and it looks like it works. Over the course of the last 2 days, our forward 20-gallon tank had leaked its entire contents, and we spent much of the morning trying to trace down the leak. So Nusha is going to go upstairs and try to fill the tank a little bit, and then we're going to see where the water comes out. Now she's putting water in the tank, and I'm going to go look down here and see what happens. I don't see any water coming out yet. Eventually, we narrowed it down to a foot pump under the sink and spent the rest of the day extracting it. We were pretty sure that when the boat was built, it was built around this foot pump, as it was nearly impossible to remove. David lent us this quirky little screwdriver, which saved the day. He's the real hero of this story. It's free.
Yeah. That's not my boyfriend. I don't know him.
With the pump extracted, we got to work trying to find the leak. And I think it's leaking from the foot pedal itself. So I think I gotta take it apart. Okay. Trying to understand how these pumps work. Taking the pump apart eventually revealed the likely culprit.
Yeah.
Well, there's your problem.
Still. It's a hole.
It's a big hole.
I know.
And we'll fix this, and this probably won't leak ever again. But something else might. We were so lucky that the local chandlery had a service kit in stock, the only one, mind you. And without too much effort, we had a perfectly working foot pump once again.
Yeah, it's working.
It's nice when things actually work out. Tarka was finally ready to set off on the 300-mile trip to Colombia. And we got together with friends one last time to say goodbye to Curacao and reflect on our time here and all the wonderful people we've met, some of which I'm sure we'll see again somewhere down the road. The very last thing left to do was make the long pilgrimage into town to make a visit to the customs and immigration offices. Do you wanna? Do you wanna? Where we got our passports stamped and our departure paperwork in order. Checked out. Alright, let's go to Colombia. Come on. And with that, a few creepy Christmas decorations and one final ice cream, we were officially done with Curacao. Sail down to there. Wait a minute. This map is way wrong. Curacao's so big. Today's an exciting day. We finally got to leave Curacao, and we're pretty much ready to go. We gotta grab our harnesses out, start the engine, and untie the lines and push off. And it's been a long time that we've been waiting for this moment, so we're excited. With a big push for good measure, we were finally off the dock and on our way. But our eventful passage to Colombia will have to wait until next time.